Hi and welcome to another narration presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. Please be so kind as to throat punch the like button and smack the ass of the subscription button as well. And remember to chokehold that notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. And by subscribing you'll be the first to see all of our new spooky creepypasta stories. I would just like to say a very big thank you to all of the authors that I have worked with and all the ones that I will work with in the future. So thank you all, my brothers and sisters. And now let's just take a moment's silence for all the haters. That's enough. And if you would like to support the channel, I have now created an account at buymeacoffee.com. You can send your donations, big or small, to that site. Link is below, or via paypal.me/cryptidsroost. And why not hashtag cryptidsroost in your comments. As an added bonus, be sure to check out the blooper reel at the end of the video. So grab your coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not. I am a subcontractor for an agency that fights monsters, part 2. This awesome series is written by Aqibali1993, a wonderful author over on Reddit. If you would like to read more of their works, a link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. And be sure to check out his new book, The Dark Ranger, Arc 1, Redhill Town. The Amazon link to that will also be below in the description. I spent the next 5 minutes fighting the pain away as the morphine did its thing. The sky had darkened to the point it became impossible to see further than 10 meters, the shadows of the trees only adding to my disadvantage. Without any sort of night vision gear, this situation had gone from bad to worse. Just my fucking luck. But I was determined to get out of this alive. In the distance I could hear the humming of a helicopter as it flew into audible range. The rustling of trees and fauna caught my attention as multiple footsteps closed in. With my sight still blurred, I aimed my rifle through the space between the trees where 6 dark silhouettes emerged through the fingertips of bushes. Their attention was fixated on the deceased body of their kin, before suddenly turning towards me with anger in their gleaming amber eyes. I'm fucked. All 6 of these creatures were larger and looked more intimidating than the one I had killed earlier. I couldn't see much in the dark, so it's difficult for me to explain what they looked like. Without hesitation, I flicked the rifle into fully automatic and squeezed the trigger. Silver rained down upon their swift movements as they neared. Most of my shots missed their mark. Within a few seconds, only 2 had not met their end. I realised no more bullets were being fired from my rifle. My magazine had run dry. Shit. By the time it was reloaded, I would have most likely met my end. So I went for my pistol, only to realise I had dropped it in the struggle with the first one. Fuck! I screamed, seconds before they extracted their revenge. I closed my eyes and took a final breath of air and prepared to meet my end. Bang! Bang! The sound of 2 high-caliber shots ripped through the air. I squinted my eyes open to the sight of the creatures crashing into the dirt next to my boots with the giant gaping holes through their heads. I had been saved just in the nick of time. If they arrived just a second later, I would have been in the morgue come morning. I sighed in relief as I discovered the helicopter hovering above my head, the barrel of a sniper rifle sticking out the side. My radio crackled with a tone. I clicked a button on the PDA to accept the call.
McCarthy, you alright down there?
The voice of the British guy asked. could be better. I sighed, nearly out of breath. Just get your people down here before I bleed out. The medics patched me up before rushing me to the nearest military hospital, where they conducted some tests. The battle with the creatures had left me with heavy bruising, 3 broken ribs, and a nice scar where one of the metal plates in my armour had lodged itself in my belly. The doctors advised me to take it easy for a few months and discharged me. I called an Uber and made my way back home. Once I arrived, I noticed a black SUV waiting for me in the driveway. A man in a black suit asked me to get in. Once inside, I noticed a man sitting in the other rear passenger seat. "I'm glad you made it, McCarthy. It would have been a shame to lose you so early on." It was the same man I had been in contact with over the phone. "Yeah, me too. So, I finally get to meet you in the flesh." I smirked. "The doctors have told me to take it easy for a while, so don't expect me to be in action anytime soon." "I know," he said, passing me a thick envelope. 10 grand, as promised. But before I let you go, there's something I need to tell you." "Yeah? What is it?" I asked, curious to know. "We retrieved the bodies of the creatures and sent them back to the SDF for analysis. The research team conducted some tests on their bodies as they didn't match anything they had on their records. There was evidence that their DNA markers had been tampered with." "Wait, so what you're trying to say is that they were created by someone?" I was dumbfounded at the idea that some sick asshole actually went out of his way to make these bloodthirsty creatures. "Exactly. Someone genetically spliced the DNA of multiple creatures and modified it to be far superior than what you would normally encounter." "For fuck's sake, that means there could be more attacks. That dick's still out there." I nodded my head in disapproval. More people's lives would be at stake if this person kept creating more monsters. "Yeah, get yourself back in shape and I will be in contact with you in the coming months." "Alright, thanks for the prompt payment." I waved him goodbye as the SUV made its way out of the estate. I made my way to the door and opened it with my key. My children jumped me just as I entered, feeling a sharp pain in my ribs. "Take it easy, kiddos. I'm not feeling too good," I said, gripping my teeth, holding the pain back. I hugged and kissed my wife, passing her the large envelope of cash. She snatched it out of my hand before I could react. It was the only way to keep her from flipping her shit. Well, at least we had enough money to pay off our debt. My wife made me a nice warm meal before I hit the bed to recover. A month had passed and I began to freely move around without feeling the pain of my injuries. I decided to join the gym and get fit once more. I also started practicing at the shooting range, knowing full well my specialist skills would be needed in the future. I just couldn't believe the stupidity of some people. Why would they want to make the world a more dangerous place by creating dangerous monsters? Assholes! A few months had passed, we were running out of cash and times were becoming difficult again. I was about to hit the deck late in the evening as I usually did when my phone rang. As I went to answer, I recognised the number right off the bat. It was that posh British guy again. "Hello?" I answered, moving into the conservatory. "It's me again. We have a situation. Are you ready to be picked up?" He stumbled his words in a rush, as if something big had gone down. I couldn't contain my excitement. "Count me in. Now I know what you guys are going to say, but fighting these monsters gives me a buzz." The SUV is now parked outside, ready to pick me up. Once I get back, I will be sure to keep you all updated. And I hope you all enjoyed the following blooper reel. The rustling of trees and fauna caught my attention as multiple footsteps closed in. I squinted my eyes open to the sight of the creatures crashing into the dirt next to my boots with the giant gaping holes through their heads. The battle with the creatures had left me with heavy bruising, 3 broken ribs and a nice scar where one of the metal plates in my armour had lodged itself in my belly. I called an Uber and made my way back home. My wife made me a nice warm meal before I hit the bed to recover. Now I know what you guys are going to say. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not. Hey family, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. A very big thank you to Aqibali1993 for allowing me to narrate this awesome series. Make sure to check out Aqibali1993's Reddit for more brilliant stories. Also, be sure to check out the Aqibali1993 playlist here for more of their stories that I have already narrated. Take care everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful and peaceful night. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not.